Now we're in step 3 and we're going to actually start making our game. What I want you to do first is to go to your wall object and double click it and open up here and be sure that you make the wall solid, because we're going to set this up so the clown cannot go through solid objects. So that's why we have to do that. We don't need any events or actions for the wall. It's just going to be a physical barrier in our game. So click OK. Double click the clown object. Be sure it is not solid, so it should be unchecked. And we're going to add a series of events and actions. An event is something that you do, like a mouse click. The action is what happens when you do that event. So let's start and click the add event, and we're going to add a create event. We want to create the clown. And now that we've created it, what do we want it to do? We want it to move. We want it to start moving in a direction. So we're going to drag this icon over into the action area. And we want it to be able to move in all of the directions except for the center one. And we're going to set the speed at 4. You do not check the relative checkbox for this. Click OK. So now all we've got is the clown being created, and he starts moving in a direction. Next, we have to add a collision event. And what can the clown collide with? He can collide with the wall. And when he collides with the wall, what action do we want to happen? We want him to bounce against solid objects. That's why we had to make the wall solid. So we just click OK. And we want it to play a sound when this happens. So go to play a sound. And the sound that we loaded earlier is bounce. And we click OK. We don't want it to loop. We don't want the sound to keep going on forever. Just a nice little bounce sound is all you need. Next, this is sort of like the process of programming, only you don't actually have to write the scripts. But I hope you see that there's a logical progression of the way these things are being set up. Next, we're going to be able to add a mouse event. And what we want to do is do a left, when we press the left mouse button, okay, what's going to happen? Well, that means you were successful. So we're going to go to score, and we're going to set the score. And you just earned 10 points. And you want to make this relative. That means that for every time you click the clown, you get 10 points relative to what you already had. So if you had 100 points, it goes up by 10. If you didn't check the checkbox here, your score would be reset to 10 every time you click the clown, and that's not really what we're going for. So when you click him with your left mouse, you're going to get 10 points. We want to go back and play a sound. In this case, we're going to play the click sound. Do not make it loop, so loop is false. We're going to have it jump to a random position. That's the little question mark here. So now the clown is going to start jumping to a random position somewhere in the room. And then we want him to start moving into a direction. Anything but the center. And we're going to set the speed to 0.5 relative. That means that when you click him, the new clown that appears will increase its speed by 0.5. Got it? So we set it at 4. The second clown is 4.5. The fifth clown would be 5. The sixth clown would be 5.5, and so forth. Okay. So I think we're all right there. So we're going to click OK. And next we're going to add a room. I'm going to open this up sort of full here, and I'm going to go to settings. And since our clowns are 32 by 32 and the wall is 32 by 32, we need to change our snaps to 32 by 32. Notice now that our grids are a little larger. Go back to objects, and we're going to pick the wall object first. And you just left click. In fact, you can usually just hold down your left mouse and just kind of drag through the areas. If you put a wall in the wrong place, just right click it to get rid of it. No harm is done. So we now have created a barrier so that the clown can't get out. Next, we're going to add a clown. We'll just add him here in the center somewhere. And we're also going to do add background. And let's see. I'm going to point you to, I'll put this out there for you. I'm just trying to find it for me right now. There it is. It's a little red background. So we'll call this BCK or whatever. You can just do it. You could do it BG. It's all right. And then red, for lack of anything else. And so we go OK. We go back to our room. Go to background. Pick red. All right. So then let's try running our game. If we come up here and hit the green arrow, and there we go. And when we click it, you may not be able to hear the sounds, but it is working indeed. And if I click him, he's going to get a little faster with each subsequent click. Now there's no end to this game. This is just showing you the basics. Notice our score is changing. Alright, that's it for your first game. Save your work, please.